Welcome to Magic Plan's Behind the Build series. In this series, we get to share with you really neat design projects and have great conversations with the people in the industry. We'll discuss design inspirations, their love and their passions for the business, and anything else that pops up as we tear down some walls. So join us on this journey and be sure to also subscribe if you want to learn more.
I'm Lauren. I'm one half of the Austin Flipsters. My business partner Lincoln and I flip homes in Austin.
We're a house flipping team here. We were kind of already in the space together. We decided to team up.
And we showcase it all on the internet in our behind the scenes kind of home renovation, think HGTV meets YouTube type shows.
We kind of tag team. Lauren does a lot of the design stuff. I'm working with contractors and I work kind of more on the finance side.
And we showcase properties that we flip for ourselves and our partner clients.
So tell us about this project too, because you also partnered with someone, correct?
Yeah, so this project is a really fun one. It's close to our heart. Joe, who works with us, he's our general manager for Austin Flipsters. This is actually his first flip project. And spoiler alert, we flipped it so well, he actually wants to stay. I think it turned out great. It's a super modern, fun bachelor pad.
Yeah, no, I love it, especially if you can also see here, you have the beams. That's so nice.
It's not a huge space, but like you were talking about, the vaulted ceilings really make it feel bigger than it is. We made a primary suite out of the single car garage. We did do some layout changes. We moved AC up into the attic, so that really kind of opened up space for a nice breakfast area. We added a shed in the backyard. It's a fun one. There's a lot of square footage, and I think it turned out nice.
Oh, that's excellent.
So this was a single car garage, not a lot of functionality. You couldn't even get two cars in there. So we converted it, but we did more than that. There was actually an air conditioning air handler right here. We moved that up into the attic so that we could sort of reclaim this space. And then we were able to get a primary bathroom and a pantry kind of on the other side of this. The air conditioning problem was a tricky one because we almost didn't have enough space up in the attic. That was really the limiting factor. I think it was a pretty efficient use of space for the garage.
Yeah, and normally like when it comes to house flipping, we hate garage conversions, but when it makes sense and it's done right, it can add a lot of value.
Well, we hate when they're sort of DIY and not fully thought through. So we actually raised the slab to match the existing level of the floor, put in double windows and dressed it up. I think they work when they work. Otherwise, it feels like you're still in a garage if you don't go to the extra mile with all those sort of finishing details. And then we also reconfigured the rest of the house because there was sort of an internal hallway that wasn't adding a lot of value, especially on a small house. So we reconfigured the floor plan using magicplan to get the most out of that space.
Magicplan was super helpful in helping us see what could be possible because it was a little bit of a puzzle situation. So this previously was a hallway with a Jack and Jill bathroom situation happening, sort of. It was a full bath and then a sink in the room. So what we went ahead and did was rob some space from the hallway to make this a proper bathroom that could be accessed from the living space. And then we added a full shower to the other bathroom to make it 2 full bathrooms.
And that was a huge value add once we figured out we could actually put that in there because it was sort of unclear when we first walked the property.
Who doesn't like an extra bath?
Exactly.
And we went with that same sort of super dark look for Joe. He's New York, he's a single guy, and it's sort of that heavy masculine modern vibe, and I think it really fits him well.
With your experience too, working with general contractors and just the tradespeople, what are some tips and suggestions you have?
Yeah, so many. I mean, it really is the most crucial part about renovating a house is having a good contractor, a good general contractor, and also a clear plan in place. Over communicate in excruciating detail with your contractors. Even, the smallest details, pre-planning those, having those spec'd and specified upfront exactly how you want everything, it makes a huge difference. It's so much easier to do that on paper, do that through magicplan, things like that beforehand, rather than having to go back and correct it after the fact.
We found that it's super helpful and valuable, especially dealing with contractors, to give them a visual of what it's going to look like. A lot can be lost in translation when you're just talking with someone. So we'd like to use magicplan to have our plans in place so everybody's on the same page as what it's supposed to look like.
Having a clear timeline and payment schedule is super critical.
I'd say on some of our projects, we just do more cosmetics and we're not moving walls around, but on this one, we really needed to unlock value and make it a successful project. So that's why we love having tools like magicplan to help us visualize that before it's actually a wide open and active construction project.
What we found super helpful is we like to control all the materials that go into the project. So we like to order all the flooring, all the paint, all the tile, anything that we can order aside from some building materials, think 2x4s and screws and things like that. We can make sure that they're the right specifications. We're paying for what we actually want to get and it's showing up on time and funds are being allocated to actually purchase those things in a timely manner. Makes a huge difference.
That's a really excellent point that you bring up because, you know, when people want to find ways to also cut down costs, and I think also headaches, right? Because a contractor, they put in their pricing that they're gonna go get the material, right? If you can do that, it saves them that trip, you the money.
If you need to save a little bit, you can make a trade-off and go with a cheaper flooring or a cheaper tile or something. It's not someone making that decision on your behalf and then you having to live with that or fight them on it. It's easier for everyone when we control the materials. So the final big value add that we unlocked through the layout change was here in the kitchen where we added a beam to open up this space. Previously it was sort of closed off. Now you get that big open concept from the kitchen to the living. Kind of makes the whole thing feel more cohesive and just bigger and open.
And then obviously, who doesn't like the waterfall countertop?
Yeah, in our flips, we like to add like one or two elements that we call like wow factors that really sort of tend to elevate everything in the house. So typically in a house this size, in this location, you wouldn't see a waterfall, but by adding that, we kind of shine amongst other listings.
It's also the first thing you see when you walk in. It's the focal point. Your guy goes straight to it. So you spend a little bit more money there. And like you say, you get the halo effect of high quality throughout the rest of the house.
It was so great interviewing the Austin Flipsters. Be sure to subscribe if you want to learn more about Behind the Build, and we look forward to the next episode. Take care.